Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the first episode of the SME Playbook series. So, if you're tuning in with us today, please let us know in the comments below. Where are you listening in from? I want to know. We all want to know. Welcome to the time to thrive, not just survive, as a small business owner. This is a webinar series hosted by Arielle for Africa in collaboration with Ivy Foundation. My name is Edith Njage, and I will be your moderator and host for today. I am so excited to be here with you today. I hope you're excited too. Any question that you have on the AfCFTA, please leave those in the comment section, and we will address them throughout the webinar. Now, a slight update. One of our speakers, Dr. Iffy, will not be joining us today due to bad weather in Ghana. So we deeply apologize for that. However, I am excited to have Ivy with me. So let me just read, first of all, a brief on both Arielle for Africa and Ivy Foundation, and essentially giving you all a great background on the AfCFTA. So the African continent recently signed this large trade deal, and this is the largest one that has been signed since the World Trade Organization was formed. So that's how big this trade area and this trade deal is. The AfCFTA is not only a game changer for the African continent, but it will also increase the intra-Africa trade by up to 50% in the coming years. So now, with this game-changing agreement here, ready to go, with this amazing tool, entrepreneurs and business owners, I know you're all asking, what now? What next? What do I do now that this is here and in place? So, Ivy Foundation, just to give you a brief overview, is a nonprofit organization that was established to build and support sustainable social and economic growth, especially in underserved communities, while supporting small businesses. How amazing is that? So the foundation is committed to channeling catalytic financing, training, mentorship to build and support sustainable social and economic growth in underserved markets, and particularly working hand in hand with SMEs. They leverage on broad partnerships, on collaborations, both with private as well as institutional investors, to provide capital for entrepreneurs. Arielle for Africa, on the other hand, is a social enterprise that was founded in 2018 by me and my fellow co-founders. We have 4 main business units: Arielle for Entrepreneurship, which is working hand in hand with entrepreneurs like yourselves, and making sure that you have everything you need, that we become your one-stop shop for your legal support, your partnerships, your funding access, your connections, and collaborations. We also have our corporate leadership business unit, which supports young people to boss up, okay? Sign up for that Boss Up Accelerator in December. And then finally, we have financial literacy as well as Arielle for sustainability. So we have a financial literacy or money management collaboration and program with the Nairobi Securities Exchange, as well as sustainability, making sure that your business is sustainable, ESG-wise, SDG goals-wise, as well as in terms of your revenues and profits long-term. So I'm very excited to be hosting the first episode. This is 104, okay? So this is day 104 episodes, and I'm so excited because guess what, guys? The AfCFTA is very close to my heart because I know what it means for business owners. So on that note, I would like to introduce my guest for today. Ivy Syovata is an ecosystem builder, okay, and a world shaker at that. She is a serial entrepreneur, very passionate about entrepreneurship, the development of entrepreneurs, and building an innovation ecosystem in the African continent. She enjoys assisting and supporting startup founders, business owners, understand, right, what they have to gain in the communities and building communities, grow as well as advance their businesses. She is the current CEO of the Incubator Nest Hub. The Incubator Nest Hub, just to give you a bit of a background, supports companies by helping them survive, thrive, and scale up as a startup. The incubator's mission is to create positive change by leveraging the entrepreneurial spirit to inspire their clients, their partners, and the workforce through innovative, impactful, and successful businesses. Now, even getting sweeter, as an ecosystem builder, Ivy wears a lot of hats. Okay, she also serves as a board member at the Drop Access Energy and the Association of Startup and SME Enablers in Kenya, ASEC. She also chairs the All Nairobi chapter for Business Network for Women Entrepreneurs. Welcome, Ivy. So excited to have you.
Very excited too. I mean, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Edith and the team, for getting me here. I mean, I'm very excited to talk about this. SMEs are my heart.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love them. So this discussion is very close to my heart. And I
yeah.
hope, I mean, we'll have fun. We'll, understand what's really going on and opportunities out there. So thank you so much, Arielle for Africa, the team behind it, and also Bayer Foundation. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Ivy. Thank you so much. I think people are probably wondering, right? How did you become an entrepreneur? How did you become an ecosystem builder? We don't know your story.
I
So you
know,
must tell
right?
us how it happened.
Oh my. So for the longest time, I mean, when I was very young, my mom owned a shop around Taita Taveta Road, if you're in Nairobi. I mean, that's where every business used to happen. Clothes. She used to travel to South Africa and come in with
Yeah,
clothes and sell. So I used to enjoy just going to the shop. And I mean, I used to see her struggling with some things until I know,
yeah,
let me keep books for you. Let me divide things so that you know how much money has come in. Then
yeah.
after I finished, she has a shop at her home. So when I was waiting to go to campus, I was selling at the shop. And that's how it was. I just started entrepreneurship that way. I started other businesses that failed. And so it's been a trial and error everywhere. And here I
Yeah,
am. I've been running
yeah,
the Incubator Nest Hub. But I think
yeah,
for me, one of the things I discovered is having passion to what I do. I'm very
yeah,
passionate about, working with entrepreneurs,
yeah,
supporting them to grow their businesses, supporting them
yeah,
to see things in a different lens, just hand
yeah,
holding them to make it.
yeah,
So for me, this has been something that has always been around. So
yeah.
that's how I got into there. I think for me, I think my mom is one of the best business people I know, but with no formal education.
That's
But
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they did business so well, made money, so much money. And I mean, they're not gone to campus like us, gone to training on entrepreneurship, no business coach, but they really, really did make it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Now that I think
entrepreneurship
about
can
it,
be done. Yeah.
I love it. Now that I think about it, I don't think my mom got entrepreneurship training either, but
Mm,
she became an entrepreneur, became an advocate, getting people into entrepreneurship. And I'm like, you didn't learn it. So those of us
mm.
who are learning it, if anything, we're at an advantage, and we should be making more money and securing more bag
Exactly.
than them.
Exactly. That's very true.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts if you were asked to define the AfCFTA simply, like to a 5-year-old child? What would you tell them?
For me, will be doing business in Africa anywhere
Love
I
it.
want.
I love it. It's that simple.
Opportunities everywhere. I mean, it's
Yeah,
big, it's huge.
yeah,
I can
yeah,
go
yeah.
anywhere I want to be. I can do
That's
business wherever country I want and also
yeah,
live there. I mean, for
yeah,
me, it's the opportunities I see. And I think for
yeah,
me, AfCFTA is one of the greatest things that has happened
yeah,
and it's going to be
yeah,
happening, especially for business people. If we open our eyes, we will see the opportunities beyond where we are at. No longer will you say, I'm struggling with my business in Kenya. If you're struggling, you say, okay, I can actually do it in Rwanda or I can do it in
yeah,
Uganda, I
yeah.
can do it in Mauritius or even South Africa. And that for me is big opportunity. Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I mean, I think for me, when I think about the agreement, I
Mm,
almost think about it as Africa becoming united, like a united
absolutely.
business front. Because
Yeah.
in the past, you have areas like USA or the EU, they've always done business together. And a lot of business
Always.
at that. But then
Yeah,
for Africa, even if for one continent, we act so separate, everything has been so divided. So even that has divided our greatness and divided the business opportunities for
exactly.
entrepreneurs. So
Exactly.
now this is flipping things. This is really
I
turning the
know. I
tables.
know.
Yeah, yeah. So
And I
it's
think,
very
well,
exciting.
yeah, once you say that, I always wonder, ask yourself, when is the last time you actually imported something from Rwanda or
Good
Uganda
question. That's a
or
good question.
Tanzania? Do you even know what they have?
That's a very good question. I think I saw
Exactly.
a person who posted something that you'll have what's it called, Ethiopians buying tea from London, or you'll
Exactly.
have Tanzanians buying tea from London, and then you'll have
Exactly.
Kenyans buying coffee from US based the Starbucks and all these other players. And I'm like, is our neighbor not, don't we have our own? Why are we supporting foreign business? If you think about how many Chinese goods are being pushed in our markets today,
Yeah,
in Kenya alone today, versus what
exactly.
is already available. The other day someone told me that in Ghana they've made a mobile phone, I think, and they're trying to make a car as well. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? This is crazy. No.
A lot is happening. I mean, a lot is happening. I mean, many of the countries in Africa are producing a lot. I mean, Ethiopia has one of the best leather that is being used to produce some of the things that we are actually carrying our bags. We have a lot of tea, or that is being used here and what goes all the way to
Yeah.
London. Why not also, getting over to, to places like Rwanda or places like Morocco? I mean,
Yeah.
but again, interesting enough, if you look at the countries like Nigeria and Ghana, we are buying shea butter every day from them. So there's still business going on, but just not so formalized. So yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So
Exactly.
opportunities, and I think we have the opportunity now to create the Africa we want. I mean, we had
Yeah.
a lot of people talking about we don't have toothpicks from Kenya, we don't have earbuds from. This is it, this is the
Yeah.
Africa we want. We will create all those
Oh,
things here and create all
love
this
it.
and transport them and export them in Ethiopia and say we're exporting.
Yeah.
But those are things,
Yeah.
discussions I know we'll be having later.
I love it. I love it. And you know what, Ivy? We have a
Yeah,
plus one. Okay. To break up our
absolutely.
amazing female energy, we have a plus one. So I don't think the audience is ready. Okay. I'm about to pull up a plus one. There was too much female energy.
I
Welcome,
know.
Temidayo.
Awesome, Femi.
Well,
Welcome.
look, you guys have said you guys started it on a on an interesting note. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're buying. Imagine you traveling to East Africa
Mm,
and you share chips or plantain chips from Lagos, and like, wow, amazing. So
yeah.
we're trying to, why don't we do business together, or why can't
Yeah.
we have products amongst ourselves? Now, it's a conversation that I've been going on for a while. In one of the webinars we did a while ago, I asked all the audience, I said, please, and if you any of the audience that are listening to
I
us
think
today,
Dio is.
you can go on the chat and say, type any made in African products that you've
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
in other countries, and let us know
Yeah.
Yeah.
about any
Yeah.
made in African product that you've bought on your travel to Rwanda, on your travel to
Yeah.
Abidjan, on your travel to
Yeah.
Accra, or your
Yeah.
travel to any part of Africa. Type
Yeah.
it and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
How transfer of trade, and this is what we've been doing before. I asked a particular question to a gentleman from Senegal that I met. I said, why is it that in the past you would see some part of Senegal, some part of Mali, some part of Abidjan, some part of Burkina Faso that speaks Yoruba language, which is part of what, and all those things came by trade. They've been
Yeah.
traded
Mm,
together
Yeah.
before the colonial time. So why are we not
exactly.
doing that now? What has
Yeah.
changed? Why do we appreciate made products from the West than we appreciate? It's easier to get a product from France, from China, from London, from US than to get a product from Kenya in Lagos.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine saying, I'm flying, tell me I'm coming to Nigeria, I have to fly to either France or I have to fly to there's no direct flight from Senegal to Lagos.
That's true.
So
That's
let's
true.
take that. Let's take that into context. How does the free African trade zone work if I can't fly directly from my country to your country?
Exactly.
So that's one of the things that needs to start happening is infrastructure.
Yeah.
And what we need in the African continent is a railway that connects, especially Central Africa. I feel like they're just a bulk in the middle with no connectivity through. So if I wanted to come from, say, Kenya today to get to you, Temidayo, if we needed to do this in person, there's no train. I cannot come by train. I must pay a flight, transit in Ethiopia, then come and get to West Africa, unfortunately.
So that's the
Very
barrier.
unfortunately.
So I think trade among African free trade zone should include
Yeah.
transportation,
Yeah.
or should include easy logistics between one another. So
Yeah.
why do I have to go to vacation in London or in Puerto Rico? Why I can just come to
Mombasa.
I could come to Lake Naivasha, I could come to Mombasa, I could come to, I could go to Lambadi, I could do anything else. Explore the beauty of one another. And that
Exactly.
make us appreciate the goods and services that we offer each other. So taking a big detour from trades in regards to goods and services, but look, why do I need to, if we the infrastructure is not there, we cannot build this. Now, look, we could be innovative about it. If there's no power in Lagos or there's no power in Nigeria, there's power in Ghana or Benin.
Yeah.
We can have our facilities there and trade amongst ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good to join this conversation. Arielle, thanks for being on board. My name is Temidayo Adebayo, and I'm the managing partner and founder of Buy Capital. I hope you guys are enjoying this interesting conversation. And look, we're having fun talking about Africa. Let's have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Let's actually, when we, what we used to say at Buy is, when we feel it, when we think it, we do it.
Yes.
Let's have that mentality of doing it. We don't need to, come on. I was telling a gentleman in Lagos before I said, look, we have civil engineers from our universities. We have construction engineers with strengths. We have different type of engineers from our universities. Now, we appreciate the diaspora, the Chinese. We appreciate the knowledge from the West. But why do we need most of them to build our infrastructure? We don't know. We have architects that are well trained in our local community. We build our own houses. If you see these fancy Nigerian houses you see on Nollywood, it wasn't a Chinese developer that did it.
That's true.
Those structures. So why can't we build our own airports? Why can't we build our own? Now, if you take a look at the University of Covenant University in Nigeria, it's a fantastic infrastructure built by Nigerian constructors. It's one of the leading universities in the continent. But most of the major infrastructure. Now think about Winners Living Faith Church that's 50,000 capacity auditorium built by us. So why are we not replicating that amongst ourselves? Why do we have to go all the way to bring engineers to build our roads, to build our why do we do so much? So trade amongst ourselves goes beyond just buying us. It goes if there's an architect in Ghana that has done an amazing work, why don't we employ their services?
I love it.
But I think also, the fact is the cost also. I mean, if I'm from Ghana, how much will I cost my product to Kenyans vis-a-vis a Chinese? Example. I mean, every time we have tenders, who wins because of the pricing structure. Then those are questions we need to ask ourselves.
Yeah, because they know how to position themselves to penetrate the market, number one. Number two, they actually know conversion of their money to ours. You must sit down with a South African and ask them how much Naira makes their rand. Or how much, you must ask them, because likely they do not know. And even put money and tell them, if you tell me the right answer, I will pay you. So even people in the comments, they have to tell us which countries can they convert their currency to their own currency. That's another thing. There's a lack of understanding of other markets within the African context.
I mean, you can see it. That's true. You can see it. We only know dollars. How much is a dollar? I mean, we all quote in dollars every time. Why can I not quote in cedis?
Ivy, let me crack a little bit. We also want to get paid in dollars, not in CDs or not in shillings and not in. So
I
think
agree.
about it, right? Mental shift.
No, you must pay me in cryptocurrency. Pay me in crypto.
We have to take a look at those things. And look, one thing that
Yeah.
I've noticed that I've been trending, but depreciated a little bit, which I would have loved to see more of it, is educational trade,
Yeah.
Mm,
where I can, I've been seeing a lot of Nigerians going to study in Kenya, going to study in
yeah.
Ghana, going to study, going to study in other African countries.
Yeah.
Mm,
One of the ways to build trust, one of the ways to build currencies, strengthen our currencies, is we investing in our own institutions.
mm,
We have a lot of our diasporas go overseas,
mm,
Yes.
to train their
Yes.
kids.
mm.
I mean, I can recall back in the days, my English teachers were Ghanaians,
Yeah.
and that it's, why can't we continue that educational trade, research and development
Mm,
of data,
yeah.
all those things that builds and strengthen our economy?
Mm,
We should be, there should be a trade amongst ourselves,
yeah.
investing in our own institutions.
Mhm.
Uh, one of our partners just saw in the comments, invest in our own, Krista of our space NGO was saying, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
We
Mm,
invest in our own infrastructure.
mm,
Yeah.
When we send our kids to go study in Ghana, we are
yeah.
paying to strengthen the Ghanaian institution.
Yeah.
Ghanaians are doing the same, vice versa. We're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Now
agree
this
with
is
you,
where
Kemi.
go ahead, Ivy. You were saying
Okay,
something.
yeah, I agree with you. But I think also the lack of understanding how the market size looks like, because most of the time we really don't understand who is out there. So we don't want to invest, out of anything, out of ignorance, actually. I say out of ignorance. And you look at after talking about 1.2 billion rich. I mean, that's big numbers. Imagine now looking at that and say, how many of this need education in Kenya? How many can get this kind of education in Ghana or in Tanzania? Then creating an infrastructure around all these countries and getting
Yeah.
all aspects of it. So we can create engineers in Ghana, we can create, pilots in another country, and we all
Yeah.
combine that effort in terms of education and do that. But I think for me is the lack of data. I mean, people really don't understand what is out there. They don't understand. I mean, when you say
That's a good
1.2
one.
billion, how many people are this and what is actually how much potential is this? So people have not taken, advantage to study the African continent and the potential out of it and the different aspects that we can pick out of there and combine them to work as much as possible.
Now I have a question because Ivy, you said that, and I'm going to ask you this same question. So now, as a business owner, and I want to go to, let's use markets that it's even hard to think. Okay, let's say I want
Yeah,
to go to Djibouti.
yeah,
Okay, and I need the data to go to Djibouti to set up in that market. I need to know who my stakeholders are, who the
yeah,
players in the market are, who
yeah,
my competitors are, and how I'm going to
yeah,
position myself in that market and
yeah,
penetrate it.
yeah.
Where do I start?
I mean, let me tell you, today, the greatest thing about today is that information is right here on our computers, on our
Mm,
phones. It's very
mm,
quick to actually understand how the market size looks like, what is happening out there in the market, who is there in
mm.
the market. Now, for me, I always extend and say LinkedIn is another way you can data mine as much as
Yeah,
possible to
yeah,
know who exactly is in,
yeah,
that country,
yeah,
work with them in terms of collaboration and
yeah.
understand how you can actually get into that market. So market
Mm,
research has become so, so important today. By either
mm.
doing your data mining on your computer or primary data or just secondary data or just you yourself collaborating with someone there, then that way you're actually going to actually get the actual figures of what is happening there. But as business people, we find it very quick for us to build a product or a service but not to understand the people. I don't know
That's
about
true.
Nigeria. So imagine I just going to Nigeria and say, I want to start the incubator nest up there. And
Yeah.
everyone is looking at me funny because
Yeah.
I don't even understand the language. I don't understand what they do. I don't understand how they do it, And I
Yeah.
come with the same mentality as I'm in Kenya and do it in
Yeah.
Ghana or do it in Nigeria. I'm bound to fail. But
Yeah.
imagine working with Temi and
Yeah.
understanding what the market needs, understanding what the needs of the market are. Who are these people? How do they speak? What content do they want? Do they speak the same language as I do? I mean, do they like sitting in class or they like doing all nice hotels?
Yeah.
Like sometimes we do in Kenya. Then when you understand the people and the market, then you're able to tailor make your product. And this is exactly what will happen to most people who want to build their businesses in any other country. You have to understand the people and the language, and then understand if your business is exactly where it is and it can move to another country in the same way. Yeah.
I love it. So now, Temidayo, on that note, aside from, because I love that strategic alliances is the secret sauce for the
Okay.
AfCFTA that young entrepreneurs might not acknowledge because we're taught to do things on our own as Africans. Very good at it. Collaboration is still something we need a lot of work with. Aside from that, what else does an entrepreneur need to know or be aware of as they expand and take advantage of this agreement for their growth?
So I think self-awareness, first of all, is one thing. If you don't know yourself and what is available for you within your local market, let me redirect your question by saying, to every entrepreneur that's looking to expand, that is looking to tap into the collaborations or to other countries, I asked them, and I asked this question to everybody: who do you think is the biggest spender in any infrastructure, in any institution, in any structure?
The BOP, I would say.
The biggest spender in any country is the government.
That's true.
Now, if the government is the biggest spender in most countries, one of the easiest ways and one of the ways that many have been able to transition or connect to other countries, and one of the easiest ways to do business in other countries is to understand the structure of governments in countries. Now, what can I present? What can I offer the government of those institutions? So government do tenders, government do RFPs, government does a lot of stuff. One of the ways that you can easily expand and form collaboration is, now, if Edith in Nairobi bids for, is looking to bid for something in Nairobi and she doesn't have the full competence, or she doesn't meet the full requirements, and you are a business in Nigeria that is trying to expand into the markets, understanding the role of a governance, the role of your government, understanding what will it cost. People have been moving across West Africa between Lagos, between Badagry to Cotonou to Lomé to Accra to Abidjan all year, all week long. Now, most of us in the mainstream in the suit and tie don't realize that trades have been going on in the informal markets now, which represents almost 80 to 90%. I just quoting out of my head now of trades within our African borders. So we entrepreneurs that are trying to innovate, be innovative with that space. So first of all, study the bilateral trades between our neighboring countries.
Exactly.
Now, we don't have to first jump from Lagos to Kenya. We can do Lagos to Cotonou. Understand that route.
Yeah.
And Lagos, Cotonou to Lomé.
Yeah.
If you really want to expand your trade, you expand your practice, expand your services, the first thing is to understand the role of government in that country that you go to. What are the benefits? What are the benefits that I have? We do that a lot when we're traveling to the West, but we don't do that enough when we're traveling to. We know every route and routes to get into the US and to get to China. We know all the airlines. We know how much it's going to cost us. We know the taxes. We know how to calculate how much I need to pay at the airport. We know every little documents that I need to hold on to do this and that. How much more of that can we? If you're an entrepreneur that you want to expand to other countries, take that same energy and that same effort. Now, I'll say this candidly to some of the few Nigerians business I've seen. So I was traveling between Lagos and Togo a few days ago. and I saw a lot of travelers that are buying goods from Nigeria and they're shipping, and they are traders from Togo. Now, I saw that and I was excited. I saw that they are moving goods from that one country to the other. Air travels, a lot of baggage. You see, these are traders. Now let's now move that. Let's do more of that in the mainstream. But first of all, let us do more. To all entrepreneurs out there, just like you do a lot of research on the universities you want to go to in London, just like you do a lot of research, what do I need to study? What do I need to do? How much money? Just, you need to understand that opportunities are, like they say in my in my language, what you are looking for are far away, is right in your pockets. So which means that solution to that struggle or that business that you're looking for is not in London, it's not in US, is either in Kenya, is either in Burundi, Uganda, Ghana, but you have to take time to want to know. Education is the key. We tend to educate ourselves on other people's ways and not our ways. We need to, you want to understand the free. How many of you even know the definition of the AfCFTA? Or how many of you know that it actually existed? How many of you know that there's a very limited tariff traveling between local markets? How many of you know that there's a link bridge between Nigeria and Cameroon? How many of you know that Zambia just had a bridge with Senegal? How many of you know those things that you can easily move in and out? That is we need to know. Now, listen, we know how to dance Afrobeats. We know how to dance. We know Wizkid. We know Davido. We know all the songs. When Davido comes to a town, we will be packed in the stadium. We're already doing that already. Why can't we trade? We've traded Nollywood movies. We've done those things. We've danced, Ugandan songs. We've danced to, Jerusalem songs and everything else. Let us take that time to understand how can my business play out, or what goods and services. I'm selling chips. Can I sell chips in Togo? I'm selling banana. Can I sell it in Togo? I'm selling whatever you are selling, whatever trade or service you have. How can I export it? Where can I export it to? Who are the people that are interested in it? You have the internet at your full step now. Let us do that research. That's my advice to every SMEs on the line and every small business that is thinking of expansion. First of all, number one, learn the role of government. What are the requirements to do business in any other country? Just like you think you are going to Canada, every document you need to go to take that Canada passport. Same thing. It's a trade. What do I need? You don't need visas. Do I need visa? Do I need arrival? How long will it take for me to stay in Togo? 90 days, 30 days? All of you know about Schengen. How many of you know about our own visa? A lot of us knows the rule. We can lecture you on how to get a Schengen visa, but can you learn how to get, that is, so we need to know more. We need to take business owners. Let us learn to dig more about the road, and you'll be amazed how many opportunities are there. ECOWAS struggles to give out tenders because there's little bidding for it. Why? Because nobody is bidding, because they don't even think there's an opportunity within that sector. EU's, by the time you lack tenders, that's why they go elsewhere. So we need to be very critical about what is produced. So maybe you want to import something to help your goods. Have you looked elsewhere within the African market? We have the best raw materials. We are the hub of raw materials in the world. Do we know how? And that's, I think, if to cut the long story short, and I'm done speaking after that, is do your research. Take that leap of faith to learn more. Knowledge, like Catherine just said, knowledge is power. There's nothing else.
Now, on that note, something I think entrepreneurs need to know. If I can, for example, as a founder, hire the best talent in South Africa or hire the best talent in Senegal or in Morocco, why would I settle for a Kenyan if they are not the best? Same thing with business partnerships. I can afford to not settle because of the AfCFTA. Because of this agreement, I can go for the best. So my question to you is, are you the best? In your space, in your industry, are you the best? Because now that I have access to anybody, anywhere, anything within Africa, would I be choosing you? That's my simple question. And on that note, I want to know from Ivy, what opportunities are here for entrepreneurs? What gaps can we see throughout different African spaces that
Yeah,
entrepreneurs can start to take advantage of?
yeah. I mean, the opportunities, as I said, I mean, sometimes as business people, we just need to look at opportunities with 4 eyes, like my specs and yours, and magnifying lenses, actually, not even specs, but lenses, because the opportunities are massive. If we look at what we've just discussed, look at the opportunity for logistics. From what Temi has just said, can you imagine being able to move goods from Kenya all the way to Uganda, all the way to Tanzania, all the way to Nigeria, and all the way to South Africa? Logistic is going to be very, very huge as an opportunity for many people because we need to move things. If I'm actually sewing very nice clothes somewhere here in Kenya or Masai shukas, I need to transport them to another place. Do I need to take them all the way to the airline, which is more expensive? How else can I do that? So can we look at opportunities in the area of logistics? Because that's gonna be big. Now, another thing is value creation. And I always say businesses can be the same. I can be producing my honey. We have very wonderful honey here in Kenya, Temi. And you're welcome. I'll send you one. One day we'll send you something. But
You must come.
I'm adopted Kenyan. Don't worry.
Yeah.
so how do we add value on honey so that it can be taken to different countries? How do different countries eat honey? Do we even know the use of honey, in Tanzania or in Ghana, in Morocco? How do they use honey? Because that's how we can add value, create value products out of it. So someone in Kenya can actually use the same honey and create value creation for products all the way in Morocco without living here. So you've created a new market with the same product. So value creation is going to be a very, 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 very big opportunity for so many of our business people. So you don't have to look at, one of the things when you hear after, I'm sure people are thinking now, which is this new business that we want to do? No, it's not like what we were doing, quail businesses in Kenya or chicken businesses. No, it's the same business, even the chicken business, and asking yourself, how can I do it? Today with pork, there are areas of pork that you can actually take to other countries that are eaten in different countries that are not eaten here in Kenya. And you can make a market out of it. So it's looking at the same product right now you're working with and looking at how it can expand different markets. Today, the beauty industry is really big here in Kenya and also in Nigeria. How do we package that different countries? Because there's an aspect of everyone wants to have businesses. I mean, beauty for Black women. And why are we using Marie Claire or whatever we use from other countries? And we are producing that for ourselves. I can actually produce it from Kenya and take it to a different country. So value positioning is going to be very, very critical. On the same product that we have, how do we package it to a different market in Africa? And that for me is huge. Manufacturing. I think manufacturing is huge. Right now, even if you're manufacturing in the kitchen, try and get everything correctly. Manufacture well, get all the licenses well, because you can manufacture here using digital solutions, technology, and only social media. You can have your clients in South Africa, and that is it. No one even knows what you're doing in Kenya, but you're actually supplying someone else. I mean, if we look at all the country represented in Kenya, there's so much opportunity of what you're doing. There's so much that is eaten in Nigeria that is not eaten in Kenya. I mean, we have oils that they use in Nigeria that we hardly use here in Kenya. Why not be exporting here in Kenya? And we see that in Nigerians, a lot of them have been selling so many of the oils. We never used to know what, the bananas. How do we call those bananas? Plantains.
Plantain chips. I have one. I
Until
have very crispy one.
Are you eating? Temidayo, I
I
can
know,
see you eating there under the
yeah.
table.
Until they exported, when Nigerians started living in Kenya, they exported here. And today, we actually have plantains planted in some of the villages in Kenya. Already, that's a market. It's a matter of looking at things in a different perspective. Not new, but a different perspective. That's why I say, put on your lens, magnifying lens, and look at things differently. And I like what Temi said. It's going to be a mindset shift. It's going to be you looking at things different and looking at where opportunities are. Yeah, just a few of them. Yeah.
I love it. And I'm always meeting with founders in different African markets. And they always say, "Oh, Edith, the market doesn't want my product or they don't want my service." Friend, it's very simple. Sometimes you're just in the wrong market. And it's okay. You just
It's
need
okay.
to realize that if you are Kenyan, doesn't mean that your gift, your service, your business was built for Kenya. And now, because of this agreement, guess what? You can go and offer your services, your products, your giftings in Rwanda. I meet a lot of Kenyans and they have very good English. Amazing English. Kenyans, we do very well with our English. And I meet other South Africans. And they're in some jobs, and I have very big questions in my mind, some of them. And I'm like, you know what, Kenyans? It's okay. You have a gifting. You're saying there's no this, there's no job, there's no. Please go to another market. If you're saying the consumers, they don't like my app, or they're not using it, they're not interested in their financial future, or they're not interested in e-commerce for this, for clothes or whatever. Friend, just move to another market. That's the beauty of everything being so
Exactly.
virtual now. No one is tying you down. You don't have to do things in your home market, in your own country.
Absolutely.
However, like we keep saying, it's about strategic alliances. It is about collaborations. The AfCFTA is really for entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs, real entrepreneurs, have big respect and space for creating collaboration and partnerships.
Yeah.
They're not selfish. You cannot be selfish with the AfCFTA. You will not go
Yeah.
anywhere with it, because the truth is you don't know everything. You don't know every market, and we're all so different. From the kind and giving Ethiopian to the very loud Nigerian and West African things. Temidayo is always shouting at us. to the very, very humble Tanzanian with, beautiful Swahili. We're all so different. And it's always
Yeah.
amazing to understand how different we are, learn that, accept that, and then collaborate. Because guess what? When we all collaborate, then we become the best of all worlds. And it's
Yeah.
that simple. We cannot do things on our own. We cannot go and force ourselves. Me, if I went to Senegal, who would listen to me? I don't know French for nothing. They'd be looking at me like, Edith, what are you saying? And I can't respond to a lot of what they're saying. But if I find a Senegalese to collaborate with, then life
Absolutely.
becomes a lot easier and we can do so much more together. So on that note, I want to remind people to send the questions in the comment section. Okay, Temidayo, now lecture us.
No, actually, just in addition to what you said and what Javier said. Now, what are the opportunities? And there's a question that talks about how do we mitigate the risk of local industries being driven out of the market as a result of, for instance, Kenya opening up its borders to bigger economy in Africa, such as Nigeria and South Africa. Now, think about it. I'm going to pick an example. Whether by default or by design, the US market built the Chinese market. Do they lose jobs in the US when they're creating it? It's a shift of paradox. So you can manufacture from one angle and create more opportunities. Now, COVID-19 has killed a lot of businesses. Does that mean there'll be no more ideas to come? Now, listen, every solution has its own pros and cons. That's the first thing we need to realize. There is no, you can't eat your cake and have it. It's an economic balance, equilibrium balance of thinking through about that should, because I'm creating more opportunities elsewhere doesn't mean something else will not spring up. That is exactly what, go to the Philippines. A lot of the market in the Philippines is a hub, is a call center hub for most African American businesses. Now, within that market, they've created an innovation of their own. Does that mean there's no more call centers in the US? It means that they are rethinking the way they are thinking, while opportunities are being built up in somebody else's. Now, why can't African have a call center within Africa? Have you guys think about service creation? You talk about, Ivy talks about value. Now, we complain a lot too much about our own customer service. Have you now think that's an opportunity for you to create something for yourself and design and build something that is different from what you have seen? Now, that's an opportunity for you to do something with it amongst Africans, amongst different of us there. Now, you talk about manufacturing. It doesn't have to be from Nigeria. It could be from Ghana. It could be from any part of the world. It could be any part of Africa. But the key primary thing is that logistics is the new normal, right? If you can move goods and services in and out of one country, you could, think creatively on how can I leverage my current strengths to be a regional champion. That's what. So not there's a lot of pros and cons to every solution. There's no 100% solution in the market, but we look for the best ones that suit us part time. At some point, there was no GP, there was no cell phones, right? It was expensive to get cell phones. Look, it's when there's, you need to understand that everybody probably know everybody's phone numbers at some point in your head. But because there's phones now, we barely can. If anybody knows his or our spouse's numbers, fantastic. So you have to look at your phone to write numbers down. Now we need to challenge ourselves on the norms that's going on. Value is right in front of you. If you don't think critical, you won't get value. We are the best that complains a lot about problems, and we never take the steps to solve that problem.
That's true.
Instead of us, as human factors, we shift the blame. This AfCFTA agreement is for us to be able to think within ourselves, to be able to do things within ourselves, to be able to work, practice, enjoy not just the music, not just the, but the food. Let's have a fancy challenge about whose jollof rice is better. Is it Ghanaian jollof rice? Is it Senegalese jollof rice? Which yamachoma is good? Is it my yamachoma? Let's have cross-border. When we're traveling in Ethiopia, when you're traveling there, let them serve ugali on the plane, because, let us. But if you don't build them, if you know how to make the best ugali and you say, look, I want to go to Nigeria needs to have a taste of ugali. And you can open a restaurant in ugali because you want to do this. McDonald's are moving everywhere, right? Why are they moving? They want to expand. They learn about the market and they move. Now, I bet we all eat more KFCs in Kenya and Nigeria than we eat our own local, ad chicken. They came to our market. You can take your trade. Now, let me say this full disclosure. When I was in Nairobi, I was able to find a Nigerian restaurant where I eat in Eastland. I eat Nigerian food all the time. I enjoy it. When I was in, when I was in Paris, I wasn't going to look for the Paris food. I went to look for a Nigerian food in Paris. So people say, why would you go to? No. I did not eat a French food until my last day of visit. I was the one introducing the French to my hot, spicy Nigerian food. Like, it's so spicy. Everybody think about this. How do you think we are so good to ravioli and Italian pasta? Why do you think that name became so big? Because they move their stuff and they celebrate it. Let's celebrate if you know you are very good as a chef and you're not looking, if you know you're a very good tailor, you know how to sew some fantastic stuff. If you know you can design something fantastic, identify which market you can easily penetrate, gather some few change within your pocket, look for friends, fools, and families that can support you, then start it. Everything is online. Start it. If you're looking for, that's that's the opportunity that is right in front of you. That's what you had. There's a question that says, how can the different countries assist in taking this initiative forward? It starts with you and I. We are the country. It is not the government. It is you and me. We have to take that initiative. Nobody tells us to go and study overseas. We Google it. They have embassies there, so they have the infrastructure and the facility there already. So we took the initiative to say, look, I want to go and study in London. I want to go and study in Beijing. I want to go and study in Germany. So you have to take the initiative, and if you don't do that, you won't be able to move those trades forward. The only way I can eat Chinese food in Kenya is because the Chinese brought the Chinese food to Kenya. The only way you can eat McDonald's anywhere or Burger King or Domino's Pizza is because they brought it to you. Take your own and give it to them.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only way you can get the opportunity. Thank you.
I agree. Maybe just to add something, I mean, as Tim was talking, I kept on thinking, this is very true. And I'm sure many entrepreneurs will ask, how do I get into these businesses? Because money is always the issue. Always money is the issue. But one of the things I've come to realize is, one, money is available if the opportunity is there. If you create an idea and a business, money is very much available. Now, it's for you to look at your opportunities and then tailor make them and package them in such a way that money is attracted to it. And that's what we call capital investment. And Arielle are very good at that. So, so package it as much as possible. So never ever stop yourself from moving to an idea or working on an idea you think is a good opportunity because of money. There's plenty of money right now that is going on. There's a lot of investments in Kenya going on. We call it black capital, we call it white capital. It doesn't matter. It's capital because it's money which doesn't have any other color. So we need to have it. So have the opportunity, work with people that actually are working on these things, are working on these business opportunities like Arielle and ourselves, and we're able to push through such businesses to get money, and actually you can move to another country. Now, I mean, Temi has said it, collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. What you see here today is a collaboration of 3 or 4 organizations. Now, you can never work in silo if you want to move to another country. Let me tell you, you won't. You'll either have to work with the government or you have to work with a certain body, all those things. And of course, it's a cost, but it's the only way you're going to move forward. So don't be shy as an entrepreneur and think that you want to keep this idea. You have this fantastic pasta that you put in your kitchen and you don't know how to package it. Listen, package it, get it out there, get the money, you will get the money, move, get collaboration, and move it to another place. Interesting enough, when I was learning about IPs, I realized you can actually package things like githeri. Githeri is our rice and our beans and maize, a very favorite dish in Kenya. And you can just IP it and you sell the recipe and you're making money. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of opportunities. We are just the ones that are actually, you don't have to actually transport exactly, jollof rice from Nigeria to Kenya. Get the IP rights from someone in Nigeria, create a whole market for yourself here with a recipe, and that is it. And you've created a good market. And that's a whole subject. So you can actually be buying IPs from people and creating the recipes in Kenya and produce it for them. And you create a business for yourself. So opportunities are right there with us. It's just we need to just open our eyes and accept that we need to move and make money out there. There's a lot of money going on.
Arielle, before you come, Edith, before you come in, first full disclaimer that all our audience and entrepreneurs should know very well. Yeah. You could ask your parents if you want to pay for school fees. You could ask your parents to give you money to buy stuff. You could figure a way to get your way around those little things that you want to do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to big ideas, the first thought is, let me package it and go to the West for money. The biggest new money that is coming up is within your backyard. If you can convince a foreigner to buy into your idea, why not convince the person next to you to buy into your idea? The imperative of making this African, this AfCFTA agreement work, it's for us to encourage one another. So which means that if you have a very nicely packaged business model, if you have this unique idea just like anybody else would want his dreams come alive. If your idea is good to somebody overseas, it will be good to somebody locally. You just didn't take that time, like you took the time to keep sending pitch decks to incubators in the West. Identify, a family member. No matter how poor or how little the cash is, the reality is we think very, very, very big, which is very good, but starting from somewhere, meaning that you have to bear some inherent cost. Entrepreneurship is literally meaning that you are willing to go all in to make those dreams come true. Now, we see all these fancy designs and fancy stuff. Most of them start with so much failures and so much failures. But when you're looking to source for capital for your business, before you start thinking anywhere else, think about what can I do with the little I have. If I have a shoe that I can sell, your business, your rice, your ugali should have a story. We're buying all this. So the hustle behind that business is the story that people buy into. So you have to, you're going to Kenya, you're going to Ghana, you bring trade somewhere else. It's a business without a story behind it, would just wash away like that. So build this, think about this African trade agreement as an opportunity for you to tell your story to the rest of the African markets. Use this privilege, this new opportunity that is right in front of us that we all need to learn about, to know how you can. And I was telling my Togolese friends when I was in Togo yesterday, I said, look, I can live in Togo. And the guy said, yeah, we'll make sure that you're comfortable. And I said, I'm not Ethiopia. Sorry, I'm not coming again. I'm staying in Togo. Why? Now, look, we need to take that bold step. We need to take that initiative, and don't think that, if you go to Togo, you get stranded. There's, and one thing again is this: there are few couple of scholarships to study within ourselves, universities amongst ourselves, African Union, ECOWAS, all of them have scholarship opportunities for you to study within their economy, within their countries, and I don't think you go to school in Kenya and you're from Nigeria or from any part of Africa and you're stranded and they'll send you back. They would not send you back. So, in that note, I'll pass it on to Edith, and I'm done speaking.
So now we're actually getting some interesting comments. Quinta is saying successful implementation of the AfCFTA is significantly dependent on political goodwill of states to align their national legislations to the AfCFTA. Somewhat correct, but because the reality is this: public sector will always follow private. If private is moving in a certain direction, public has no choice but to allow for the legislation. Guess what, Africans, as entrepreneurs, we actually run the continent more than we think we do. 80% of the GDP is us. Have you ever seen government being counted as GDP? No, it is us. We are wealth creation, right? So instead of waiting, because this is what Kenyans, we say, serikali saidia, government help us. It's that mentality of waiting for legislation. The truth is, legislation is dead without people to implement it. We are legislation. We are AfCFTA. It is not the piece of paper that's sitting somewhere looking very nice, wherever it is. I have no idea where it's been written and kept. But it's not the online document that you download. It's what we're able to do with it. The 50% reduction in poverty, 50% more intra-Africa trade, all these, is it 30 billion or 3 trillion worth of trade within Africa? All these stats will just be statistics if we don't start moving. It's that simple. All of the projections that they've made are reliant on us moving. And then legislation will follow you. So rather than waiting for your national government to do something, right? Start making collaboration. Start with joint ventures. Start with strategic alliances. They will not prevent you from doing businesses or having partnerships. No one has ever come and said, Arielle, you can't partner with Bayi Foundation. Where is the government knocking on my door? They didn't come and say we can't have webinars together and collaborate. The reality is we have so much to gain, right? And I'm also in agreement. There's a lot that countries have to do. There's a lot that governments have to do. But rather than focusing on that, can we please focus on what we need to do, on how we need to get better, on how I loved someone put a comment here, Michael Israel, and he said, until our quality becomes, people will continue to buy Western products. And the truth is, all of these brands that Temidayo and Ivy have talked about that are here in our markets shamelessly are here because we were not leveling up. It's just that simple. We left a gap and they took advantage. They would not be here if we had created. Why has no one ever tried to come and create another M-Pesa in Kenya? Where are they? They must come and try. Where are they? Because that's a quality product that was created that most of us can't do without. So having that same approach, right? Momo can't even knock on the Kenyan door. You know, they can't even try because they already know. These guys, they are taken, they've been bought. Yeah, there's no movement. They are owned, you know? And so in the same way, you look at it like that, right? Make sure in your industry, in your space, you're the M-Pesa in that space. You might not be it in terms of market share to begin, but you can be it in terms of quality, customer service, value creation, and just making sure that your customers never want to be anywhere else. It's that simple.
Okay.
So, speakers, parting shots, and then we go.
Edith, can I add something?
Yes,
Before,
Ivy. Yes.
I think one of the things is, and I like what Temi said when he began, you have to collaborate with the government. In Kenya, there's so much the government is doing for entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs do not know. Export promotion services, they have a lot of support. They support a lot of entrepreneurs to export in different markets and even identify new markets. Do these entrepreneurs know? Let's dig in the knowledge that is there. Collaborate. The Ministry of Industrialization is doing a lot here, you know, to work on so many other things. We have now the startup bill where it's actually educating a lot of startups, and you know, it's going to benefit a lot of our startups. Do we really know what is happening? So we still have to collaborate and collaborate with the government and have knowledge of what is happening so that you can take advantage. And there've been many people that have actually known what's happening. They're the ones who are taking advantage on the import duties, the new nice ways of having the government go and advertise for them, all these things. Let's get out there. Package yourself, have quality products, then, package yourself and work with the government also.
Thank you, Arielle, for that, and Ivy. Edith, I keep saying Arielle. Now, somebody mentioned the word quality. Quality. Any business out there that is doing business and you know there's a quality issues with your business, that is how the word collaboration works very well. Now, don't think it's expensive. Advice, reach out to the Arielles, the Bayis, and the Hives to help you fine-tune your product offering. The Bayi program does a lot for small businesses, to help them create that quality that we are looking for from the Western market. There are so many quality products that we have in the African market that we enjoy. We are probably one of the best in makeups in the world. We have the best fabrics, the design, the outfits. If we have, so we need to work. My last words to every entrepreneur out there is not just produce a product, get the know-hows, but also reach out for help to get the best quality out there. And don't think quality is expensive. Quality is how much collaboration you have and how much partners can help you get your end products quicker. So let us think quality, because at the end of the day, no matter how much trade between each other that we want to say, If the first impression and the first perception is gone, that business is gone, regardless of whether you're my brother or you're my sister. The reason why we think we get the West more is because we think most of their products comes with very good quality. We need to start, like I said, mind shifts, and all our entrepreneurs should start working on building a quality product. What you cannot take for yourself, don't sell to others.
Yeah.
As simple as that. And you'll be amazed how much of your business will thrive. You know, if that's the last word. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I will say thank you to I'll call him Bai because he calls me Arielle. Let me tell you guys something that I love. When Temidayo calls me Arielle, it means that my brand is so closely linked with my identity. When you see Edith, you see Arielle for Africa. Entrepreneurs, you must exude that. When they see you, they must see your business immediately. They must see your enterprise. They must see your startup. They must see your SME. You must exude it. I even wear Arielle colors intentionally. You know, like you must just carry your brand everywhere you go and just sell it. You know, just be it shamelessly. Anyway, aside from that, I hope that everyone has enjoyed these amazing thoughts. I know I have, and I hope that you're joining us on Saturday, because what's happening on Saturday is a conversation around sustainability and simplifying it to understand how, as a business owner, guess what? Sustainable business might be your biggest weapon yet. You just don't know it. That you can actually do well financially and in terms of your returns and in terms of other elements, and still give back more, right? And on that note, I hope that throughout this conversation you've picked up some tidbits. You have things to talk about. Use the hashtag AfCFTA explained. Use hashtag thriving not surviving, hashtag beyond survival, hashtag SME playbook. Okay, these are our hashtags. I'm going to go and look myself, okay, and the rest of the team. We're looking for who used the hashtag and gave the best comment, because they're going to have free business coaching and consultation from both Arielle for Africa and Bayi Foundation. So listen, if there's anything you need to do, okay, if you've picked any one sentence, even if it's Temidayo calling Edith Arielle, go and tweet that and then use the hashtags. You never know, you might be the founder that we select for good reason. So use the hashtags. Feel free to tag us at Arielle for Africa and at Bayi Foundation. We're across all platforms: Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Feel free to tweet away. I hope that you go to the link in the description on all of the platforms to get your ticket for Saturday, and for next month we have 2 more episodes. On Saturday we have 3 amazing panelists, Mercy, Davide, as well as Janine, and they have amazing thoughts for you guys. So please make sure that you join in, make sure that you come in. Yes, consultation, guys, get it, go and tweet. Okay, I'm going to check the Twitter and use the right hashtags. Okay, remember, it's hashtag beyond survival, hashtag AfCFTA explained, and hashtag SME playbook. Thank you so much everyone for listening. I hope to see you on Saturday. Remember, you are the power, right? You are the AfCFTA. I know that there are a lot of things that we need in terms of legislation, in terms of support, in terms of space, but guys, and conversations and understanding and tariffs and all these different things. But this is one step.
Yeah.
Beginning to improve your quality, your value creation, reaching out to us, Arielle for Africa, Incubator Nest Hub, and Bayi Foundation, and getting as much support as you possibly can. Those are steps that you can begin to take. We're going to make sure to have Ivy's details scroll across the bottom in case you want to reach out to her. Info at Incubator Nest Hub. Their website is also there, www.incubatornest.com. All of the Arielle for Africa and Bayi links are in the description. Click away, visit our website, reach out, okay? The doors are always open. The virtual doors are always open. So I'm going to have the speakers do a wave and say bye to everybody and say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.